Welcome back. We continue our study in Ezekiel, though we took a detour with testimony in our last session. We're going to continue now with Ezekiel chapter 22. Welcome back, Sister Josie. Welcome back to everyone else. We talked a little bit, and let's just review some of the scriptures we talked about because this has to do with Ezekiel chapter 22. And we'll talk about that now. We started with Zechariah chapter 13, and we read verses 8 and 9 of Zechariah chapter 13. So we're just going to review the witnesses we had before we left. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my most high. So we saw that from the last time. Then we went to, I believe it was to Zephaniah chapter 3. Zephaniah chapter 3. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust. This is verse 12. This is chapter 3 of Zephaniah, verse 12. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh. Verse 13. The remnant of Israel shall do no iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Again, the affliction, the poor, causes us to be refined. Also, he said he'd bring us through fire. The fire causes us to be purified. And it is not us bringing ourselves through the fire. It's him that is the Father bringing us through the fire. Also, I just remember we also did Malachi, didn't we? We did Malachi, and we did chapter 3 of Malachi. Malachi chapter 3, beginning at verse 1. Malachi chapter 3, beginning at verse 1 and going down to verse 3. Oh, thank you, Sister Couture. Appreciate that. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. It was, as you can all guess, totally unplanned by me. That was something the Most High brought us at the moment. So praise the Most High. I'm glad, Sister Couture, that you and some of your loved ones got a blessing from that true story and help refine us for what we are present. That's right. Thank you, Superstar. So let's go Malachi chapter 3, beginning at verse 1 and going down to verse 3. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Yahweh whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith Yahweh of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire and a fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Lewi, and shall purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto Yahweh an offering in righteousness. Again, this is the Messiah coming in the Father's name to purify the sons of Lewi, who are the priests that are going to represent the 144,000. Then we went to Revelation for our fourth witness, and I got another one by the grace of the Most High. Notice it said, who shall be able to abide at his coming? That should remind you of something. But we're going to go to Revelation chapter 14, again, talking about the 144,000 and understand why it talks about them in this manner. Let's take a look. This is Revelation chapter 14 from verses 1 to 5. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. Why? Because of the refiner's fire that the Father brought them through. That's why they were like virgins, just like Miriam Magdalene brought through the refiner's fire, her and her sister Martha and their brother Lazarus, so that she was the first one Messiah revealed himself to once the Father resurrected him. We also represent that same thing. Okay, so who shall stand? That should tell you something. Who shall stand when he cometh? Well, there you go. Revelation chapter 16, chapter 6, verse 17, and going into chapter 7, same theme here. Revelation chapter 6, verse 17 says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Yahweh. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Most High in their foreheads. And I heard, oh no, we know that. But so now the forehead represents the seal of the Father, which seal we get by his Spirit once he refines us. You understand? And as we know, our people have been going through a refining process for more than 2,000 years. This is why there's such cruelty toward us. You must understand. We remind the enemy of the Messiah. So his hatred toward us is stronger and more violent than any people ever. And we have been through that more than any people ever. But we're going to come through it because the Father said we would. Okay, the Father said we would. That is why they hate us with anger and violence more than anything we could hate them with. You see, brothers and sisters, 2 things Malcolm said that was interesting. And then there was a sister. I got the sister. I should put her. She gave a 6-minute speech, a more powerful speech than almost anybody I ever heard in my life. But Malcolm said that we should get together and we should solve our problem the way other nations have solved their problem. Get together, keep our enemies out, and prepare to fight for blood. That's what he said. He said the American Revolution, if you saw that video I put, he talked about the Negro Revolution versus the Black Revolution, if you recall. He said the Black Revolution is bloody because it's fought over land. He said there was a white revolution, that was the American Revolution. There was a white revolution, that was the French Revolution. There was a white revolution, that was the Russian Revolution. But then he said there are people that were non-white. He called it the Black Revolution, the Chinese Revolution, the Cuban Revolution. He called that the Black Revolution. And he said those revolutions were fought over land and they were bloody. He said it always costs blood, a revolution. And he's right. But why hasn't us who have been lynched and raped and kidnapped and tortured, why haven't we done a revolution? Because the Creator doesn't want us to. Let me say that again. The reason we haven't done it, we don't understand we're being held back. We're being held back and we're being refined. You should remember this. By nature, there should have been a revolution. By nature, we should have gotten together like Malcolm was trying to do with all Black people from all over the earth, and we should declare war on our enemies. That's what we should do. That was the righteous thing to do. We should have a revolution, but we're being held back. We're being held back. It's not because we're cowards. Malcolm said we're afraid to bleed. He said we'll bleed when the white man tells us to bleed. But when they're bombing our churches and killing our Nolan Wellses and killing our Breonna Taylors and killing our Ahmaud Arbery's and killing our kids, we're afraid to bleed, he said. He said, we'll go bleed in Vietnam. We'll go bleed in Iraq. We'll go bleed in Iran. We'll go bleed in World War II. We'll go bleed in Germany. We'll go bleed in Japan, but we won't bleed for ourselves. Why? The Creator's holding us back. Why? He told us vengeance is his. He will repay. There's going to come a time when they're going to bleed. The Bible says it. Look, Revelation chapter 14 again. Notice again, Revelation 14, verse 18, 19, and 20. Another angel came from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had sharp sickles, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. This is written in the word. I'm not just saying this. And it says in verse 19 of Revelation 14, and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Did it say oil? Did it say gas? Coal? What came? Blood. What's going to happen? Bloodshed. What's going to happen? Bloodshed. Wait a minute. In case somebody missed that, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Let's go to Isaiah. Brother Isaiah. Let's do that. Brother Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 63. Isaiah chapter 63. Beginning at verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. I will, what does he say? For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. I will stain all my raiment, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Bloodshed. You see, brethren, we've been held back. Why have we been held back? 2 reasons. Number 1, the Messiah is the head captain. Messiah is the captain. Notice what it says again. Joshua chapter 5. Notice this. Joshua chapter 5, I believe it is. Make sure I get it right now. Yes. Joshua chapter 5, beginning at verse 13. Third witness. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of Yahweh am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and did worship, and said unto him, what saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of Yahweh's host said unto Joshua, loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. Third witness, bloodshed. That's what's coming. The Father has held us back because our captain, the captain of Yahweh's host, is Messiah. And he's going to lead us and cause them, our enemies, bloodshed. Did you see the witnesses? Joshua was a witness. Isaiah was a witness. The Revelator John was a witness. And we can find more. Bloodshed. And what are we going for? Land. Our land. The whole earth becomes ours, our land. And what's going to bring it about? Bloodshed. That's why we haven't came at them yet. We're being held back by the Father's hands. But they are taking our kindness for weakness. That's a big mistake. And even though the Father's hand is holding us back, they shouldn't push us too far. They shouldn't push us too far. But that's what's coming. They can march on capitals with the Confederate flags and saying you will not replace us as they did in Virginia, run people over with cars, go in black churches and kill people and then get McDonald's. But their bloodshed is coming. And what we're trying to do now is be ambassadors. And the other reason it hasn't happened yet is because you and I need to be refined. And the Father is using this whole situation to refine us. You understand? So that we'll be prepared to stand. None of them will be ready to stand. And what the Bible says about them, they have no rest, day or night. Whosoever worships the beast, whosoever receives the number of his name, they have no rest, day or night. So they're restless. And they will be destroyed soon. Bloodshed. Did I make it up or was it there? Did you see it? Did you see it in the book of Revelation? Did you see it in Isaiah? Did you see it here in Joshua? Did I make it up? Bloodshed. See, Malcolm wanted us to create bloodshed now. He said, we need our rights now. We're not waiting for the Congress to pass no bill. We're not waiting for any Supreme Court decision. Right now. That's why he wanted to do what he wanted to do. But he didn't understand what we understand, see. Even though we have righteous anger, even though they have killed us and violated us more than any people in human history. Listen, the Hebrews have been violated more than any people in human history. But the answer comes from the Heavenly Father. And he's going to send his captain with his sword drawn, as we saw in Revelation 19. And there's going to be bloodshed. Now, Ezekiel chapter 22. Now, Ezekiel chapter 22. Now, check this out now. Again, this is going to be an old story for you and me. This is. It's going to be an old story for you and me. And you're going to understand why. Hopefully more than ever. Yes, the times of the Gentiles is fulfilled. The time has been fulfilled. The Father has already fulfilled it. It's just playing itself out. Listen now. The Father has already put it in motion. It's just playing itself out. You understand? You and I wake up every day and it's a new day. To the Father, this day, he saw this day before the foundation of the planet. And he sees way past this day. Today is a new day for us. But for him, he sees the end already. And he's already said the word. It's already in motion. There's no stopping it. And he's just now preparing you and me for that day. Everything's preparation, brothers and sisters. Ezekiel chapter 22. Now, I'm going to read from verse 1 to 4. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Now, thou son of man, wilt thou judge? Wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yea, thou shalt show all her abominations. So now he's going to go and go through the laundry list of the capital city of Jerusalem, and which is representing of the nation of Israel. Then say thou, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. Thou art become guilty in thy blood, that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thine idols, which thou hast made, and hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking of all countries. Brother, seriously, I want you to answer this question rhetorically, but you can answer it literally too. Are the Hebrews today a reproach unto the heathen and a mocking of all countries? What say you? Are us, the bloodline, a reproach to the heathen and a mocking of all countries? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. See, that's what's happening. Now, one of the problems that you're going to get, that we're going to be reading about here, is how much like the heathen we have become. You see, in Leviticus chapter 18, we're not going to go there now, but in Leviticus chapter 18, what the Father said, he went down the laundry list of things you should never do as an Israelite when you inherit the land. And then at the end of Leviticus chapter 18, which these heathen are trying to tell us is done away with, which is stupid, but what he said was, he said, all these things have the men of the land done, and the land speweth them out. Make sure you don't get spewed out if you do the same thing. Well, brothers and sisters, we have. We've been involved with all of the evils of our enemies. And so what the Father is now doing, which is what we saw in Ezekiel chapter 20, when he said, I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgressed against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they shall sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. What's going on right now, and it's going to be continuing until the day they give the death decree, is he's going to purge us from within. He's going to save us from ourselves. Now, those of us that will be saved are the repentant souls. Remember what he said. We were what? Redeemed from among men. To be redeemed meant you were lost and you were delivered. That's redeemed. Like a coupon is redeemed for value. You get this piece of paper and it says, redeem this. Well, we are the coupon that's being redeemed by the Most High, redeemed through repentance by the Father's Spirit and under the blood. We're being redeemed because we have committed all the sins of the heathen around us, have we not? We've committed all the sins, starting with the worship of a white Jesus, which we have, and the worship of money through the Ashkenazis, which we have, and the seeking of deliverance through praying 5 times a day to a pile of bricks in Saudi Arabia, which we have, and all that goes with all of that, which we have. So now he's purging us to bring us, his people, back to himself. Do you hear that? They shall call upon my name, and I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh is my God. You understand? So we are being purged so that we can bring back to him. Leave Baal, leave white Jesus, leave man-made organizations, and come back to the Father. Not where we have been before as individuals, because we're just now, for us, it's an awakening, but from where our fathers were, we're coming back to, you understand? From what our fathers had been given that we have lost, we're coming back to. So right now, the purging process is to come out of us so that we come out of her. Yes, you catching that? I can see you catching it. You see what I'm saying? So we have committed all the sins of the heathen that are round about us. We have eaten their pork and their shrimp. We have eaten all of their stupid things. We have left our God. We worship their white Jesus. See how crazy this is, brothers and sisters. If you listen to Christians, now tell me if I'm wrong. Now I want you to tell me. Now, I want you to answer this. Now, if you listen to Christians, right, you would think that they believe there's two different gods. There's a New Testament God and there's an Old Testament God. There's one in Ezekiel and the Apostle Paul writes about another one. Isn't that true? Tell me now, am I lying to you? So there must be two different gods. There's one that Moses spoke to, and there's one that's named Jesus in Matthew. You understand? That's what they think. If you listen to them, they're trying to tell you that God in the Old Testament is so mean, so arbitrary, that the New Testament is so much nicer. He just loves everybody. Did you know Jesus loves you? But the question is that true? Is it the same God that spoke to Moses and spoke to Ezekiel, the same one that Paul was talking about? Is it the same God that Messiah says is my father, that Isaiah talks about? If it is, then somebody is lying about something, right? If they're trying to picture him and paint him as a different God that looks a different way, then somebody's wrong, right? I mean, somebody got to be wrong. If he's the same God that's going to talk here in Ezekiel chapter 22, if he's the same as the God that is spoken of in John, then somebody's messing up then. Then that means that we are misappropriating who this God is. You understand? Because if it's the same, boy, they sound like it's two different ones. And how could he be a burnt brass black man and show up with blonde hair and blue eyes? I don't understand how that happens. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me. I don't know what happened. How could he say, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy in Exodus, and then say, the law's been changed. You can eat pork. You can go to church on Sunday. That's the Lord's day now. I don't know where that came from, but it definitely didn't come from the God of heaven. So somebody is lying, correct? Somebody's lying. Either we're lying and it's not the same God, or they're lying and it's two different gods. Somebody's lying. Somebody is lying. Our God says he doesn't change. Correct? Didn't he say, I am Yahweh, I change not? So how is it that he changed his mind in the New Testament and become so nice all of a sudden? Did he get converted to Christianity? Like, what happened to him? Did the Creator change? Somebody's lying. It's just amazing to me. Because when you think about that and you say, well, the God that was standing before Joshua and said, take your shoes off your feet. You're standing on holy ground. I'm the commander. I'm the captain of the Lord's host. That's got to be the same Messiah. That said, my Father do work and I do work. Got to be the same Messiah. So you can't divorce one and accept the other. You got to have one God, which means people are misrepresenting who the Creator is. They have to be. Because it's not two different ones. Christians will make you think it's two different ones. Or somehow he changed his mind. He changed his tactic. Let's see, that didn't work. Let me come a softer way. Yeah, that didn't work. So let's come a softer way. Right? He must. But if it's the same God, then he's the same in Genesis. He's the same in Ezekiel. He's the same in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. He's the same in Romans. He's the same in Hebrews. He's the same in Revelation, if it's the same God. You see, even people that think they're awakened fall into this trap. How do you know? There are brothers out here claiming to be Hebrews and awakened and telling you Paul is not inspired. Paul is not inspired. I've heard them with my own mouth, my own ear. Paul is not inspired. The New Testament is not inspired. I've heard them say that. Somebody's lying. So in other words, we must not fully, for us to say something like that, we either don't believe the word or we don't believe he can preserve his word through the centuries that we've been in captivity. And we have been in captivity for centuries, thousands of years, you and I, thousands of years. We're the product of the bloodline that has come through thousands of years of refining. So somebody's lying. I think it's the one book. It's the same God. Paul talks about the same God Ezekiel's talking about. The same God with the same feelings and the same thoughts and the same understanding. He ain't changed. And it's just one. And we are his witnesses. There's not two of them. There's just one. There's not three of them. There's just one. Right? See? You understand? So here we go. Ezekiel chapter 22 going to show us how bad we got to be like the heathen. And he had to beat our behinds a little bit to get us to understand, no, you're not them. You're not them. That's not you. You don't need to be acting like them. You're not them. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 5. Those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. Behold, the princes of Israel, every one, were in thee to their power to shed blood. In thee have they set light by father and mother. In the midst of thee have they dealt by oppression with the stranger. In thee have they vexed the fatherless and the widow. Thou hast despised mine holy things and hast profaned my Sabbaths. In thee are men that carry tails to shed blood. And in thee they eat upon the mountains. In the midst of thee they commit lewdness. In thee have they discovered their father's nakedness. In thee have they humbled her that was set apart for pollution. And one hath committed abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another hath lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law. And another in thee hath humbled his sister, his father's daughter. The backstabbers. They always come in by my house to talk to my woman. The backstabbers. That's what we became. We weren't supposed to be like that, you know. We weren't coming from Jacob to be like that. The backstabbers. Smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. They're always knocking on your door, trying to visit your woman when you ain't home. The backstabbers. We were not created to become that. That's for them. That's not for us. That's for them. Look, verse 12. In thee have they taken gifts to shed blood. Thou hast taken usury and increase, and thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbors by extortion, and hast forgotten me, saith the Most High Yahweh. Brothers and sisters, this was never supposed to be us. See, when we find it is us, which it is, we know what to do, which we do. We come back and submit in repentance to the Father, understanding, as the Bible says, we are sinners. Understanding from whence we have fallen. Understanding where the Father can redeem us back to. Praise the Most High. Yes. Verse 13. Behold, therefore I have smitten mine hand at thy dishonest gain, and has that which thou hast made, and at thy blood which has been in the midst of thee. Can thine heart endure? Can thine hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? I, Yahweh, have spoken it and will do it. Verse 15. Here's that word again, the S word. What does it say? And I will scatter thee among the heathen and disperse thee in the countries, and will consume thy filthiness out of thee. Here's that word. Scatter is a powerful word in the scriptures. It's used often with respect to us. Scatter us. That's where we are right now, a scattered people in the midst of our enemy's land that they have taken, that are not even a people. Praise the Most High. Verse 16. Thou shalt take thine inheritance in thyself, in the sight of the heathen, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, because ye are all become dross, because therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger, and in my fury I will leave you there and melt you. Verse 21. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, Yahweh, have poured out my fury upon you. Verse 23. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, Thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Now we know when Christopher Columbus and them get started, or got started, didn't this happen? Didn't this? They were devouring souls, treasure and precious things, taking it and making widows and making babies with what was left. Correct? That's what they was doing. You know, somebody said something very interesting. Again, I left the video for y'all. The woman said, just like we have rage that is carried down in us from us being captured and kidnapped, they have rage and murderous intent that have been carried down from them, their fathers, to them today. You must remember this. Verse 26. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and the profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. You see what we are doing now? What's the difference between the clean and the unclean? What's the difference between the holy and the profane? You can't tell anymore because we act just like them. We have people that bleach their skin to look like them. We have people that straighten their hair to be able to flick it back like they do. We have people that want to be them. You were not made to be them. You were made to be with the Yahweh. You were made to be with your cousin, not with our enemies. Praise the Most High. Verse 27. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravening the prey, to shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain. And her prophets have daubed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies unto them, and saying, Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, when Yahweh have not spoken. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery and vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. You know, the other day, somebody came to me and said, you know that prophet, Reverend so-and-so, the prophet, predicted that the Knicks will win the championship. And I said, ain't no Most High listening to no Reverend prophet, whatever, about no basketball game. Brothers and sisters, it's amazing, man. He prophesied, he said it. I was like, come on now. Come on now. Our Father don't care about who wins the next 100-meter title in the Olympics. Our Father don't care about who wins the next World Series or who the next heavyweight champion is. Our Father don't care who wins the NBA championship. He don't care. And he doesn't favor one team above the other. All human beings, they're out there trying to make money in entertainment. We should stop thinking like heathen. Really. Our Father is above that. Way above it. What you think he doing? You think he practicing his next new dunk? No, really. You think he cares? Or is he more concerned with you and I being sealed than being able to dunk a basketball? Is he more concerned with us trusting his word, eternal word, than for us predicting the outcome of a basketball game? Yeah, you think he's shooting free throws? You think, send down there an angel, teach Mitchell Robinson how to shoot a free throw. Lord. See, we get all like the heathen. The heathen care about that. We can get entertained, but we got to understand there's a limit, brothers and sisters. The creator is not caring about what Las Vegas thinks, what the odds maker thinks, what DraftKings think. They don't care. He don't care about that at all. That's their world. You understand? That's their world. And do you understand that when this is over, there'll be no such thing as dollar bills? Do you realize that? Dollar bills will no longer exist. They won't exist. Nowhere. There won't be any currency anywhere. You realize this? See, temporary things belong to people that's into temporary things. Exactly. Temporary. Brothers and sisters, we're not into temporary. You and I are into eternal, brothers and sisters. Eternal. Do you realize that the New Jerusalem is made by Creator? That man didn't put his hands on the New Jerusalem. Do you realize that? Do you realize that because the New Jerusalem and the city and the earth is made by the Creator, you and I need to be remade by the Creator himself? You see, brothers and sisters, we're concerned with things that last forever, not temporary things. There'll be no Madison Square Garden in a few years. It won't exist. There'll be nobody shooting a basketball somewhere. Nobody hitting a golf ball. Nobody playing tennis. There'll be no more football players. There'll be no more weight rooms. It won't exist anymore. Just a few years from now. It's over. The mindset is eternal. The mindset that the Father is trying to polish us to have is righteousness. The mindset is to leave the heathen practices and leave the heathen to them. Brothers and sisters, really, I'm telling you, it's coming a time, and it's not like I'm not telling you this because it's my plan. I'm not going to have a Knicks channel one day. I'm just not. It's going to happen. I already know this. I'm not going to have a Bible study channel one day. I'm not going to have any channel. Watch. That's going to happen. The revolution will not be televised. That's truth. That ain't no propaganda. That's truth, man. And there's going to be a violent revolution that starts in the sky. And it's going to be a lot of bloodshed. You understand? Brothers and sisters, it's coming to a head. No doubt. No doubt. It's coming. All this is just preparation. Really what it is. Preparation. Okay? We're being prepared for a seal. That's real important. The seal is real important, brothers and sisters. Real important. The most important thing is the seal. Okay? Not money, not gold, not silver. The seal. Praise the Most High. Verse 30. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. Therefore I poured out my indignation upon them, and I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath. Their own way have recompensed upon their heads, saith the Most High Yahweh. Look, brothers and sisters, you know what he's talking about when he talks about standing in the gap. There's a Bible example. We don't even have to guess. You know, there's a specific instance of standing in the gap. Yeah, there is. I'm gonna show you. Watch. It's in the Word. I know it's in Numbers somewhere, but I don't want to waste time looking for it. Oh, yeah, but no, that's not it. Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. Hold on, let me find it. It's in Numbers. I can't find it in this thing. It's in Numbers. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, man. Wait. I gotta find it. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Hey, bear with me just about a minute, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna find it. Here it is. It's Numbers chapter 25. This is where he gets that from. Numbers chapter 25. I'm going to begin at verse 1. I'm going to begin at verse 1 and go down to verse 12. Actually, verse 13, from verse 1 to verse 13. And Israel abode in Kittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself to Baal Peor. See, this is what we're coming out of, right? Israel joined himself to Baal Peor, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel. And Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the sun, before Yahweh against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined to Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman, in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the children of the congregation and took a javelin in his hand and went unto the man of Israel unto the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly, so that the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Those that died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them. I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. Verse 13. And he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for my God, for his God, and made atonement for the children of Israel. There's two instances like this. This is one of them. Okay. And this is the man that stood in the gap. Do you understand? He said, I looked for a man to stand in the gap before this people, and I found none. There was no Phineas in Ezekiel. There was no Phineas to take for the honor of the Most High. I'm not suggesting you go kill anybody. Don't get me wrong. But I'm suggesting he's looking for men to stand in the truth, to stand in the gap for the people. You understand? Phineas stood for the honor of the Father and memorialized forever, so that all righteous Levites are after the order of Phineas, you understand? Praise the Most High. He stood in the gap. He stood in the gap for the people. Praise the Most High. Okay? And so he's looking for a man to stand in the gap. Now, at the time of apostasy, there was none. There was no person. Everybody was given over to the sins of the heathen round about them. Brothers and sisters, yes, the 144,000 will stand in the gap. And why? Because we are going to repentance. We're going through the fire. We're going through the patient development. We're going to trust the word of the Father and seek the spirit of the Father, and he will guide us through. That's right. That's what it is. He bore witness of the Father, of truth. And today, brothers and sisters, just by virtue, first of all, by virtue of us being who we are, that's a problem for the heathen. So you understand, brothers and sisters, when you decide you're not worshiping an organized religion, you're not worshiping the white Jesus, you don't accept that there's an Old Testament God and a New Testament God, you don't accept that the New Testament is done away with, or the New Testament is not inspired, that you understand is one word, one God, one spirit, one Messiah, and he's got one people. You must understand this. And you will stand on that truth till the heavens fall. Well, brothers and sisters, that's standing in the gap. Because the only thing, if you recall, that stops the Most High from destroying this whole place today is the command to hold the winds until my servants are sealed. So even now, the development of the 144,000 stands in the gap for the rest of the planet. You understand? People don't realize that, but that's the truth. The development and sealing of the 144,000 stands in the gap. And as you said, Brother Stephen Kelly, the 144,000 will, once developed, stand in the gap. Praise the Most High. Because the 144,000 will call forth those that are still in Babylon from Babylon. You see. So you see how Ezekiel is speaking. Most High speaking through him. You see how it relates to us as we are sitting here today in this modern age. You see how the process of refining is done as we also experienced ourselves and will continue to do so. And then you understand that knowledge with the knowledge of the feasts and understanding what the feasts mean. And you brought all that together with the knowledge of the Father's perfection of righteousness, which he's given us, with the understanding that the Creator makes no mistakes and sees the end from the beginning and knows all things and will bring bloodshed to our enemies. Put all that together, boy, you got some message that's powerful, powerful, powerful. Okay, and nothing could overcome it. Nobody. But they're going to try now. They're already doing that. But it's okay. Stick with the word. Stick with the word. Stick with your Creator. You cannot lose. Stick with the word. Stick with your Creator. You cannot lose. Okay? Praise the Most High. It's like happened to us this past week. So we heard something from the other side's attorney. And they were focusing on this one piece of paper in our case, which we know to be the piece of paper that will sink them. He was telling us how the piece of paper is phony, that it's irrelevant, that it's debunked. So it got my wife to think, said, why is he doing that? Is it really? And we started researching it. And we got a little carried away. We thought maybe we need to pull this piece of paper out the case and bring something else. And our attorney answered us by email. And he said, take it easy. He said, you've done nothing wrong. I said, but, and I said, he said, go ahead and contact the title company, see what they say. When I contacted the title company and the real estate company that did the transaction, I saw that we had done everything right. My wife saw we made no mistakes. And our lawyer already knew that. He said, take it easy. You have done nothing wrong. And he was right. And at the end, we were like, okay, we felt confident. We're waiting for the hearing to dismiss this case. They think they're going to win based on a lie, but they don't know they've already lost. And that's the thing, brothers and sisters. The world with Asatan thinks they're going to win based on a lie, but they've already lost. And as we approach the Creator and receive his righteousness and his truth, he has beheld no iniquity in Israel and no wickedness in Jacob. And they've already lost. They just don't know it yet. But they will. It's coming. Praise the Most High for the truth, brothers and sisters. Praise him for the truth. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace and shalom, brothers and sisters.